I've been derma-rollering for 2 years and I've seen amazing results. I was able to fight my hair loss and regrow thicker, more healthier hair. I've made some mistakes on the way, and this video is a must watch for anyone who is just starting out. So here is things that I wish I knew before I started derma-rollering. Derma-rollering is so good for anyone from suffering from hair loss who wants to regrow their hairline, bald spots, thinning hair, anyone who is suffering from a lack of nutrients in their hair shedding, then derma-rollering could be the answer to help you regrow thicker, longer, more healthier hair. There have been so many studies on derma-rollering and the results are amazing. People who are part of the studies regrew their hair, fought hair loss, and was able to really show in these clinical studies that it's effective, safe, and natural treatment to hair loss. The way that derma-rollering works is that it creates micro incisions in your scalp, which then stimulates collagen production, stimulates blood flow, and it also increases growth factors to the hair follicle, making your hair grow thicker and stronger. Over-the-counter drugs like finasteride, minoxidil, they all work by either blocking DHT or stimulating blood flow and increasing blood flow to the area. So it makes sense that derma-rollering would then fight hair loss, including alopecia areata, telogen effluvium, any sort of hair loss or thinning, then derma-rollering could help. So let's get into the first thing that I wish I knew before I started, and that is real needles versus fake needles. Now this is a thing, so there are a lot of derma rollers on the market that have discs rather than real needles. The hint is in the name, microneedling rather than micro slicing. So it's really important to make sure that you're using a derma roller that has real needles. The discs are quite hard to spot because they look like normal derma rollers, but they're bad in two ways. So the length of the derma roller, because it's on a disc, doesn't allow to penetrate the scalp effectively. So actually you need to put more pressure on the derma roller with discs, which can cause a lot of harm and more scarring. Additionally, the disc, you look quite closely, they get thicker as they get closer to derma roller. So these create not micro incisions, they cut the scalp, which then will cause irritation, damage, and even hurt the hair follicle itself. So it's so important to avoid discs. They are also really hard to clean rather than individual needles, so that could cause infection and cause more issues than good. On a side note, I am so excited because I've been working on my business, BL, which means the beauty and all, for over a year now, and I'm so excited. Today it is launched and I do have my own derma roller. I was sick and tired of all of the bad derma rollers that are on the market. Here she or he is. This derma roller has micro needles, and you can see here that there are individual needles rather than discs. So this is going to be a lot better for your scalp. This is going to stimulate your hair growth a lot more effectively than a disc derma roller would. But they are available to purchase now at thereisbia.com. Okay, so the next thing that I wish I knew is that you need to derma roller in all directions. So that is diagonally, the other diagonal, vertical, and horizontal. And it's important to make sure that you're doing all of these directions to ensure you're covering the whole scalp and not leaving gaps in your scalp microneedling. The other thing that I wish I knew about microneedling is that you need to use a derma roller with stainless steel. So stainless steel versus titanium. I'll tell you why titanium is bad. So titanium is a stronger, more durable material than stainless steel. So what that means is it's a lot harder to get titanium to be sharp because it's such a strong material. Used in the studies were stainless steel individual needles. They weren't discs and they weren't made out of titanium. My BIA derma roller is made with individual stainless steel needles. So that's one thing to know. Additionally, stainless steel is actually a medical grade instrument. So it's used in surgery. So if it's safe for the doctors, then it's safe for me to use. So the other thing that I wish I knew is disinfecting your derma roller. Now, it's obvious you need to disinfect it before and after. Anything with a facial head that has soft bristles, to be able to clean in between the needles to make sure you're getting rid of dead skin cells, dead scalp cells, and ensuring that the derma roller is very clean so you're not transferring any bacteria bacteria or infections when you are microneedling. What I use personally is antibacterial hand wash, so I do a antibacterial bath, but we really recommend also to use rubbing alcohol, disinfecting it before and after use to make sure that your dermaroller is very clean. It is also obvious, but something that really should be considered is that when you are microneedling, you need to microneedle on a clean scalp. So it's really important that you don't have any products on your scalp, whether that's hairspray, things that you're using to cover your hair loss, any sort of leave-in treatment. Other than natural organic oils, you should not have anything on your scalp. Your scalp should be clean to avoid infection. So it's always important to make sure you don't roll on a really greasy scalp or on dirty scalp. So that's why you should clean your scalp, so you don't want to irritate the scalp more, or you cleanse your scalp effectively before derma-rollering, and you can leave about a day after washing your hair, derma-roller as well. When you are microneedling and your scalp is dirty, you're actually pushing that dirt into your lower dermis of the scalp, so you want to make sure that you're not doing that. The next important thing is size, which needle length. So if you are confused about which needle length to use, then I am about to shed some really juicy light on this topic. Now, the best length to use when microneedling is 1.5 millimeters. So 1.5 millimeters is the right needle length to allow enough penetration to stimulate the growth factors, stimulate hair growth. Anything lower than that isn't going to get to that lower dermis of your scalp, and you're not going to see the same result. Now, the majority of the clinical studies, they used 1 millimeter to 2.5 millimeter. So that is the range that you need to consider. But I found that 1.5 millimeter is the perfect length to be able to stimulate hair growth. 0.5 millimeters aren't in itself going to stimulate hair growth, but it will increase topical absorption. So I would really recommend to use 1.5. And there has been a few comments on my YouTube about whether they should start with a lower needle length and then go higher. Remember, you have full control over the penetration of the dermaroller. So you can roll the dermaroller in moderate or light pressure, and that will actually reduce the depth of the needles that go in. That's why I always recommend to go for the 1.5 rather than going with the 0.5 or the 1, because you can still get the 1.5 and still have, 0.5 or 1 millimeter depth by just pressing a bit light. So I'm literally not even, so just doing this is about 0.5. The full pressure will allow the needle to go straight into your scalp at that depth. So remember, 1.5 millimeter is the best to stimulate hair growth. The dermaroller is a 1.5 millimeter length. Okay, so I'm going to show you the best method on how to use the dermaroller and what you need to do and see to be able to know whether you are microneedling correctly. So you want to make sure you are parting your hair in sections, and you want to roll on the parted line only. So here you can see that I'm just rolling across here. I'm going to go here, diagonal, horizontal, vertical, and it is painful, I won't lie, but you can increase the pressure as time goes on as you get more used to it. Now, what you want to do to be able to know whether you're doing effectively is you want to have redness or pinpoint bleeding on the area. So here you can see there is a pinpoint blood spot there. You don't want to bleed a lot, but you can see here that pinpoint bleeding and that redness means that I can move on to the next section of my hair. So when you are derma-rollering, ensure that you are putting enough pressure for the area to go red or pinpoint bleeding, but you don't want profuse bleeding, and you want to be sure that you're checking as you go along and cover your whole scalp. So as I move along, I am just going to double check. Once I know to move on is the redness or the pinpoint bleeding that I mentioned. So you can roll on your edges, your hairline, any bald spots that you have, and that's going to really fill those gaps and make it a lot thicker. Now, the other thing to help boost hair growth, and what I wish I knew about derma-rollering, is that you should use a topical treatment post derma-roller. The best time to use a topical treatment is either 12 to 24 hours after derma-rollering. If you're using an alcohol-based serum, you should wait 24 hours. You should also wait about 48 hours after derma-rolling to shower and shampoo to make sure your scalp heals. With a natural organic serum, I personally put it on straight after, but it really does depend. You should do a patch test to make sure you're not causing yourself extra irritation, and to be on the safe side, I would really recommend to wait 12 or 24 hours before applying any oils. I have launched my own hair growth oil, which has helped me, and that is also on the website. So the derma-roller coupled with my Super Roots elixir is going to really help to stimulate hair growth and grow more healthier hair. Now, what's really exciting is that I got the derma-roller to be tested among my friends, one of them being Varishma. She had amazing results. She has aloe alopecia, and it was able to completely fill out her bald spot on the back of her head, and that's really exciting. So if you guys are interested in learning more about hair loss, make sure to watch my How to Beat Hair Loss playlist, and I've got a special discount for you guys. If you did want to buy my derma roller and hair oil, it's Imen Bell 2022 to get 10% off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you liked the video, so give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!